I'm Chris, you're watching Fragmental. In this video, full review of Roja Parfums' brand new Parfum Cologne, helped out by the Fragrance Apprentice.
Glad to be here.
If you want to hear more about this one, stay tuned to FM. Okay, here we go. So I've briefly mentioned about the Roja Parfums Danger new Parfum Cologne concentration in an earlier video that I've done. I touched on a few of the changes that Roja's made with this between this one and the original Parfum. So I'm going to explore that in a little bit more detail, let you know what I think about this fragrance, and I'm going to be having a little bit of a conversation with George. George has been wearing this now for a couple of days, so he's formulated a few opinions. I've been wearing Danger for a few weeks, so I have my opinions as well. So I'm going to talk to you about everything that you might need to know if you're considering picking this one up.
Now, usually I wouldn't even think of sort of coming in on a review with Chris, because that's, you know, I don't, your review is your review, and I'd rather usually keep separate. But I was completely drawn to this. This really sort of moved me in a way, because it reminds me of some fragrances that I do know that I really, really love, and some of them have been reformulated and even discontinued. And so the fact that this has come out, this actually reminds me of, I'm just going to tell you 3 fragrances. Tom Ford Noir, the EDT, Halton Z14, which has been reformulated to death, and Italian Cypress by Tom Ford also. Without the minty chocolate accord, it's the more mossier elements of it, but it's really phenomenal. It's been an absolute pleasure wearing it for the past couple of days, so I just felt the need to come in and just say a few words about it. Yeah,
and you know, when George is saying it reminds me of those fragrances, it doesn't mean it's the same as those fragrances.
No.
It reminds him of those fragrances. So obviously it's doing its own thing.
Absolutely.
Every time we smell accords in fragrances, it's always gonna, you know, little bits of those are gonna sing to us and remind us of other fragrances. Our mind just searches for familiarity naturally, I think. And you've made some nice connections with some fragrances.
This is not some sort of like clone or anything like that. It's completely its own original thing, and it's definitely a Roja Dove.
Yeah,
definitely, right. It's got that DNA, it's got that sophistication, but there's just a lot of great things to talk about it, you know.
Yeah, a lot to talk about with this fragrance. So let's start off, as I usually do in my reviews, by taking a closer look at the bottle and the notes. In this one, we've got bergamot, lemon, cumin, tarragon, lavender, jasmine, lily of the valley, violet, cedar, cloves, galbanum, oak moss, patchouli, rhubarb, vetiver, woody notes, ambergris, castoreum, leather, musk, tonka bean, and vanilla. So, quite a complex note breakdown, but it's a very smoothly blended, very easy to wear fragrance.
Yeah. It's really good, and it has, like I said, a few familiar elements, but it's really high class stuff. It really smells like you get what you're paying for.
Absolutely, as with, you know, all releases, you can smell the quality, and a lot of the natural quality in there as well, I think. Yeah,
I feel there's a real high quality natural element with all these fragrances, but in particular Danger, it just moved me. I just totally got where it was coming from. It would be a pleasure to wear this, and even strangely is that even though it's got this high class sophistication, I can even see myself wearing it casually in autumn and winter. Yeah,
absolutely. I wore this. I have a really lovely connection with this,
right?
Because I was lucky enough to meet Roja and do an interview with him on camera, and as a gift, Roja gave me a travel atomizer of Danger.
Right.
So I put it on. I went back to the hotel room and I put on the Parfum version of Danger. And as I was in the hotel room wearing this fragrance, I was thinking back on the interview and how lucky I was, and how fantastic it was to meet Roja and do the interview. So I have all these lovely associations with Danger and my time in Milan and meeting Roja, so I couldn't think of a better association to have with a fragrance.
course.
of that fragrance.
Yeah, that's wild, isn't it?
And so since then, I've worn it on nights out, I've worn it casually. I wore this, I travelled to New York, I wore this on the plane because I thought it'd be a nice one to wear because it's not too brash or loud. I thought it would just be a nice, easy to wear, but very luxurious and quite a sensual fragrance, I think. I get a lot of sensuality from this one. Yeah,
I get a lot of, I just get a really strong idea of like a dude, a bloke, a man can wear this. Like, and I just enjoy that fact, and I have just enjoyed wearing it because one of the things that you can really say about it is it's extremely versatile. Like, absolutely. I was thinking, because it's got that depth where you can wear it in autumn. I don't know necessarily about winter, but I was even thinking to myself, okay, I'm really rocking it in this colder autumn weather, but even spring and summer, because it's got that that cologne type deal, which freshens it up and gives
up on the top of the fragrance. So we should mention the difference because you've noticed I've been smelling both hands. We both have Parfum Cologne and the Parfum, just so we can make a few comparisons. And what you get from the Parfum Cologne is it's just a little livelier up top, which was the goal that Roja wanted to achieve, I think, from this Parfum Cologne line. I get mainly a little bit more of a green shoot type accord up top for the first half an hour or so with the Parfum Cologne, but then I do find that they settle down to a line to become very similar. And I get this lovely, because it is an oriental fragrance, so there is vanilla in here, so I get you know, you've got some citruses up top, you've got some florals in the mid, and then there's a little bit of leather in there, there's some tonka bean and vanilla, which are providing these lovely oriental accords. So you get this lovely oriental vanilla-y powderiness in the dry down, which is gorgeous.
Can I say something a little bit controversial?
You go for it.
I kind of prefer the Parfum Cologne. I resonate with it more because it's got more air to breathe. I appreciate the Parfum, and that's great anyway, and but it goes more vanilla and oriental. But the actual Parfum Cologne, I just can see myself wearing that consistently. Like that could be how a
signature scent. It could be it's an area.
I wore Oud Wood non-stop in 2018 because it had that same quality where it had that depth, but it also has a little bit of breath, it has a little bit of lightness, and I can really see that with Danger as well. So yeah, I could see it as a signature scent, like, easily.
Absolutely, and that lovely kind of soft powderiness is what makes me feel like it's a sensual fragrance, because it feels masculine and inviting, but it's got a gentleness to it as well. It's not loud, it's not brash, it's not potent, it's not too in your face. But despite all that, it still does feel masculine. It's great, really enjoyable to wear.
If I can really bring a bizarre kind of reference here, yesterday Chris showed me for the first time the film Ex Machina, which was a great film. And what did you say about that film? What were the first things that you said about the way that it was constructed?
So I said it was, I love films that are methodical in their approach, that they are meticulous, they take their time, and it's allowed to breathe. And you know, no shot is rushed, shots linger, and I love that approach. It's like a Kubrickian style approach. And you would apply that to Danger, would you? It doesn't rush itself.
100%.
Okay, great, love it.
It's a Kubrickian style fragrance, if there ever was one. It sets its own pace, it sets its own tone, and it just is, and it just sort of allows you to go into it. And yeah, it's great. And that might sound very poetic and flowery, but like I said, when I just by chance, I was just checking those out, and I just smelt Danger, and I was like, oh. I get it. So it's brilliant.
For me, it's an absolute 5-star fragrance. I think because of its versatility, because of how much I love it. I mean, generally I love oriental fragrances anyway. I think it's a great addition to this Parfum Cologne line, which, by the way, I'm sure you've seen videos and pictures, but these new Parfum Cologne bottles, look, George walked into my room, he saw them all lined up, and you were kind of like a moth towards a lamp, weren't you? You were just kind of like, whoa, they look so phenomenal, they look amazing, and they absolutely do. I think the brand has absolutely knocked it out of the park with the design of these bottles.
One of the greatest presentations I've ever seen in a bottle.
Very flashy, very eye-catching.
But I like the fact that because it's got that kind of simple shape, that also kind of, that goes with the cologne kind of setting. So yeah, great.
Simple yet luxurious, isn't it?
Simple, yeah. And what we're talking performance, because I think.
So yeah, let's get into performance. Yeah. So okay, so what I get is I get a nice 2 hours of lovely sort of powdery projection.
Yeah.
And then after that, it kind of just goes on this curve and it does settle closer to the skin. But for a good sort of 8 to 10 hours, I am getting lovely wafts off my skin of the fragrance. So I'm presuming people around me are also, you know, if they're close enough to me, they are getting these wafts as well. So it's not a beast mode fragrance, but it's not designed to be. You are going to get a lovely projection. You are going to get good longevity, akin to the Parfum. I've tested both together, and I do find similarities in terms of the base of this and the longevity. What were you getting for performance?
Well, I'm just going to openly say that 2 days to me is kind of not enough to engage kind of what's going on, but from what I've had, it's a similar situation where the projection is quite strong at the beginning and pretty consistent for about 2. I could push it a little bit to maybe 3 hours. Okay. But then after that, it just sort of resonates down. And longevity, very good. But again, I just want to be careful because it's been 2 days.
Because I've worn it, I've worn it a lot.
You've worn it a lot. He gets it, and that's why you should really listen to him more than you should listen to me. Yeah. But we're kind of getting similar.
It's nice to get your sort of first impressions as well to kind of you know compliment what I'm saying too. Yeah,
similar results though.
I always like having a conversation about things. It's just good because you uncover certain things that sometimes you might forget to talk about when you're doing a review on your own to camera. So a conversation can tease out extra things in a review, I think. So in terms of price, so a lot of you might think that this is quite expensive. It's £225 in the UK for 100 ml of the fragrance, but it is by far the cheapest Roja Parfums fragrance you can buy. You're getting luxury niche for this. The Parfum is a lot more expensive than this, and they're coming in 50 ml bottles, and they are, I think, going off Enigma's prices, I think they may have lowered. It's around £400 maybe, I think, at the moment for a Parfum, for a Roja Parfum in this pour on line, and that's 50 ml. So this is going on for, you know, near enough to half that price, getting on that way anyway. So I think you're getting, if you want to buy into the brand of Roja Parfums, I think you're getting a great affordable fragrance.
Here's my take. My take is this. Usually, and with you guys, empathy-wise, I have a lot of people commenting. I just did a beast mode list, and everybody was like, "Listen, can you give us designers? Can you give us sort of more regular price?" I'm totally with you, and I understand that. And not everybody's like insane, crazy about fragrance. Yeah. But the thing is with Roja Dove is this: they're like, "Look, this is what we do. This is who we are, and this is the price point. And either you're going to be into that and be into the whole luxurious side, or you won't." And this is one of those instances where you are getting what you pay for. Absolutely. Because they 100%. Put a lot of work into this. Aaron was here recently. He said that they were amazing, and we all know how
Aaron Terence Hughes, perfumer.
We all know how
he blindly picked out the quality of the blend. He said it was luxury niche fragrance. He didn't know what he was smelling. He picked out luxury niche. That was with Enigma, actually.
That was with Enigma, but I could imagine that it's all like a similar kind of story. These things are, you get what you pay for. These things are, if you put the money down, you're going to get the quality down.
So we really love it, don't we?
I love it. Absolutely love
this fragrance. And I love the whole Parfum Cologne line. I think it's going to be a big seller for Roja because I think the presentation is amazing. I think the smells are amazing. I think the affordability compared to the Parfum pour on line is great. So hopefully that's been. Oh, one more thing I do want to say. I think I've been talking about that this feels masculine to me, but I think this is 100% unisex fragrance.
Yeah, I think
a woman could easily rock this and smell really sexy, really sensual. And it is a sexy fragrance. Danger's pretty sexy. Maybe that's why it's called Danger, I don't know, because you can kind of, and it's not a brash sexiness, it's like under the radar dangerous type of sexiness. So I think that's what I'm saying is where the names come from. I think it's
mate, you go for it.
Danger.
You have the time of your life there. Yeah, but I can see that. Yeah, it's got that sensuality. It's definitely got that. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to wrap things up there. We love the fragrance. If you've tried it, then hopefully You can drop some comments below, let us know how you feel about it. If you already own the Parfum, you are going to get something similar, but as George has said, you're going to get a little bit more airiness, a little bit more liveliness up top, and I think because of that you get a bit more projection with that as well. So if you like the Danger DNA and you want a little bit more projection, maybe get a bit more attention from it, then perhaps
it's a little bit more user friendly than the Parfum.
That's a good way of saying it, All right, so there we go. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you to the Fragrance Apprentice for joining me. If you haven't yet followed George the Fragrance Apprentice, please head over to his channel and do so, because he's producing a lot of content at the moment, a lot of high quality and very useful content. So I will leave his details in the description below the video. Go over there, show George some love.
Thank you, Chris. The check's in the post.
All right, great. I will enjoy spending that.
Cheers, mate.
All right, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Remember, keep tuning into FM and keep smelling good.
Keep smelling good.